Alive, man. It's Arkatech Beatz. You made man Juggernaut. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D.
Arkatech.
It's Platinum Producers, man. We doing the music production and beat making live. We do it every night at 9 o'clock. If it's your first time here, man, make sure you're liking and you're following. You know what I'm saying? We're going to just start doing some things here tonight. Normally, we cook up some beats. But today, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go through all of the beats that we cooked up this week. And then I wanted the chat to tell me, you know, what they thought was the best beats for the week and so forth and so on. And then based on that feedback, we'll decide whether or not we want to put some beats up for licensing. So anyhow, we're going to go into it right now. Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's coming into the live. We warming up. Shout out to everybody coming into the live. Shout out to everybody coming into the live. Everybody coming into the live. Yo, what we doing is we basically going over some beats tonight that we cooked up over the lives in the last week. This one's pretty simple, you know, just basic sample, hat, nothing too crazy. I think we got an open hat in here. Shout out to Jasper, man. Shout out to everybody that's liking the live, sharing the live. We got an open hat in there. Then we go regular snare. And then we got regular kick inside of here, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's joining the live. So what I'm doing tonight, man, is I'm going through all of the beats that we did in the last week and just trying to get a consensus of what people like and what people don't like. Or rather, you know, people could rate it for me, you know, and then we're going to decide based on people's feedback, you know, what we're going to be able to put out there in terms of licensing. Shout out to Anthony and y'all folks. Shout out to Lewis, Jasper. Happy Sunday to y'all, man. And I think this is like the first joint from last week. sequence, so I know what the name of this beat. I'm gonna call this beat the Woo. Don't tell me why, but I'm just gonna do it that way just for now. So this is one of the beats that we worked on for this week, and let's see what the second one is. You heard the sample, right? When I normally make a beat, what do I normally start with? It varies. Most times I start with my sample because I'm sample based. If I'm not sampling for that day, let's say for example I don't want to sample anything, then I may start off with the drums, and then go from there, go to any like progressions, chord progression sounds. Or if I hear a sound that I like a lot, then I might start with that sound, try to figure out a way to loop it up and go like that. Hold on, I'm trying to see the name here. Listen, y'all see me squinting in the screen, man. Listen, don't feel no way. I'm trying to see what's on my other screen. I got to switch it over to the bigger screen so I can see it. Cause I got the TikTok chat on one side, but you know what? I'm gonna just put everything on the other hand so I can see everything. Shout out to LEM. So for a beginner, what do I recommend starting out with? It depends. If you're going to start with sample bass, I will start with the sample. And I would start with a sample if you're trying to do that as a beginner. But if, that's if you don't know your machine. Like if you're not familiar with the machine, then I would start with basic drum patterns. So like say for example with my daughter was asking me today about FL Studio. She was asking me about using that. So I have copies of FL Studio on both of their laptops. And I just let them just do basic percussions first. Just basic percussion, regular, get used to seeing the grid, get used to understanding the timing, get used to that sort of thing. And then we can kind of go from there. But I would probably say start off with the drum patterns first. And then once you kind of get good with that, then you say, okay, let's start introducing different sounds, different VSTs, just trying to play around. And then if you want to go sample based, then of course, we would take samples and then look at the timing of those things and then try to loop those up. Remind me, did you get your equipment yet? Shout out to Da Vinci, folks in the live. The name of this beat is I Believe. So, I want everybody who's in the live, I'm gonna be going through a bunch of tracks, and I just want folks to just take notes of which one they like the most. You know what I mean? And this is a lot of the beats from from the week. And then I wanted to kind of break down those beats that we did this week so people can just kind of get an understanding of what we were working on. And it's just different joints. So in this one, I have the hats doing two different things. I have this hat doing, the 16, and then I have this next hat, and that's a different sound, kind of like a tambourine type of on each 8. And what it's supposed to do, so it's supposed to give that feeling like on this. So on this one, it feels like it's more accentuated. All right. Of course, we got the hat, the open hat. Pardon me. Always put the open hat in there to kind of just replicate the drum. I got my snare with a little bit of effects on it. Put a little reverb on it, so it kind of gives it a little bit more. Shout out Big Oak, what's up, man? And for our kick, right? Alright. Nothing too crazy. Did I put this in song mode? I did not. Okay. So the name of that beat is called I Believe. And like I'm saying tonight, what we're doing is we're going over a bunch of beats. I'm going to break down a bunch of the beats that we worked on all week. And I need you guys in the chat. To keep notes of which ones that you like the most and try to rate them from highest to lowest, right? So this first one was called, I call it The Woo. I don't know why. Just bear with me. For those who just getting in. Let's make sure that we're liking the live, though. Make sure that we're sharing the live. Share it with other producers, other songwriters, other artists. I just wasn't sure. I forget what you actually had. That's why I asked again. This one's called I Believe. Make sure y'all liking the live, man. Just hit the like button and don't take nothing. Just hit it. So that's I Believe. I had broken out into the hook, and this is the second verse, I believe. So definitely two parts of the. So one part has the bass in it, the other part doesn't have the bass in it. So I don't know. So why didn't we turn this into song mode? Appreciate you, man. He said he's tapping the live like it's a hi-hat, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to E. Santana, man. And look, and I need y'all to share the live with anybody who you think is, who's rapping, who might be looking at they rapping. He says, you like the woo. It kind of remind me of the Nas and Dave East. Just hold on to that because we're going to be going through a bunch of different joints. I'm going to save this joint for what I changed it to. And then I'm going to go into another joint. And we're just going to keep going. And I think this one is called, we're going into, so that was The Woo and I Believe. The second one was called I Believe. The first one was called The Woo. And look, there's a lot of underground artists right now, man. There's a lot of artists that's bubbling under the radar right now. And I really, I like that a lot. Let me make sure we have. Do we have this in song mode? We sure do have this in song mode. Well, that's the captivation that we have in song mode. Which one is this now? Shout out Big Oak. This one night piano. Let's go. Okay. So let's get this night piano in order here, right? So there's two parts of this here, which is the first, it loops for the first part, which is, yo, Big Oak, we just getting started, bro. We got a lot of beats we did this week. For those who come in the live with me every week, they know how much beats we did this week. We probably do like 3 beats every live. So I'm probably looking at a good 15 to 20 joints that we did. So I need y'all to really just pay attention and really get people involved in the live. Like I said, I'm trying to determine, what are we going to provide as far as the licensing, because like I said, we're doing limited licensing on a lot of these beats, and I just want to make sure that whatever we're putting out, that the people want. You know what I mean? Versus me putting out what I think should go out. I want what the people think should go out. I need the people to decide. Called Night Piano. Shout out Brandon. The MPC, I love what it's giving me right now. I love what it's giving me. So this one, I believe, is called. So that beat was called Night Piano. The next beat that we're going into was called The Captivation. Y'all ready? It's called The Captivation, and I think we kind of finished this one. But again, y'all tell me what y'all think about this one in the live. Make sure y'all keeping track, man. So far, we're on beat number 4, I believe, right? Somebody make sure y'all keeping tally for me in the chat.
Arkatech Beatz.
We're using Streamlabs. Y'all sharing the live, man. This beat is called The Captivation. Y'all hear that, right? So let's break the beat down real quick. You know what I'm saying? We got the get the sample, right? Alright. We start with the sample, of course, and then we're going to go into the hat. Same thing. And everybody who understands when I do the hats with a velocity change. When it's high or low, you can kind of hear it, like, you know what I mean? Then we're going to go into, there's a shaker in here. Right? And this is just to kind of make the hat, to make the track move a little bit better. Open hat as well, you know what I'm saying? We're going to a loud snare with a little bit of reverb on it, right? Because we wanted to kind of have a little bit of a, a little bit of a tail on it. And then, everybody who rocks with me knows that I like to use a very, very, very loud kick. Make it really push through the speakers. And this tempo is 71. It's not a fast track, man. So this is for the people who really know how to rap. That's going to be able to articulate and, and really be kind of wavy on it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Max B. He be home November 9th. Butcher. Somebody tag the butcher. We need that. So that's beat number 4, right? We had that night piano. Make sure y'all sharing this live, man. Make sure y'all sharing this live. Because again, like I said, right now we're trying to determine what we're gonna put on what we're gonna release as a limited license for, upcoming artists. You know what I mean? So whoever's an upcoming artist who's very serious, and I have to put that out there, we are serious. We're not working with everybody. I'm just putting it out there just like that. And for people who do not know who we are, we're Arkatech Beatz, multi-platinum producers, Nas, Big Pun, Prodigy of Mobb Deep, Freddie Gibbs, Saha the Prince, Jadakiss, Raekwon the Chef, RZA, Killer Mike, Waka Flocka, The Game. I can keep going, right? So we are very serious about what we're doing, and we want to help new artists, but they got to be serious. We're not trying to play with artists. We're not trying to just give out work with everybody. We're not doing that. So let's go on to the next joint, right? We did the Captivation. We did Night Piano. What was the other two? We did the Woo, and it was another joint that is escaping me right now. But y'all gotta keep track of these joints in the live. We'll go back into the chat. Now, can we look back in the chat and see what it was, what it said? We said Night Piano. What's the other one? Well, I can't remember right now, so we're gonna figure it out. But anyhow, ready? Let's go. We're gonna go into the next set of joints, which was we're gonna load these up and see what this doing here. Yeah, I need a Ghostface joint too, man. I haven't worked with Ghost, man. I need that, But I believe that everybody that I need to work with, I'll work with before my time is up. Let's see what this is. This one's called Tonight's Laughter. That's all right, but These are a wash. We're gonna go into the cook up. We're gonna go into to this one that's called the cook up. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Everybody that's sharing, hitting the like button, sending the gifts. I appreciate that, man. This beat is called the cook up. Now one's called the cook up. And then what we did during this particular live is we did a variation of joints of the same sample. Hold on. So we kind of broke it up and we did something different with it in each one. Yeah, Anthony was with me. So we had this so we chopped the sample up, and then we started to do just different things and variate it to try to see if we can get a different beat out of it. But listen, so many people had liked the way that it was for like in the first one, the first variation of it. So we just kind of running with that. Call out the R&B joint for right now. Maybe even pop, you're right. So for the people who come into the lives with me, I'm doing every type of genre. I'm not just really, of course we love the hardcore hip hop, but we just we do different things just to kind of stretch ourselves. And every now and again, this is my recommendation. Like, you have your core sound, right? Because, you're going to get known for your sound as a producer. So you have your core sound, and then you have things that you try, because you're trying to perfect you're trying to elevate yourself. You're trying to perfect your situation. And then what happens is you put some of the other types of stuff to the side. And then every now and again, you'll get an opportunity because you never know who you bump into in different sessions. You may bump into this artist, that artist, and you might be like, you know what, I got something for you. And then that's how it happens, So this was like the cooking up. this particular beat is I did make this one available because there are some people that were asking about it, but only a limited licensing. I think there's only about 5 licenses left on this one. So so if somebody's interested in that, then y'all got to go to arkatechbeatz.com and go figure that out. Let's go on to the next one. We're gonna call this one. What's called? This one is called. We're gonna share the process on this one. Yeah, make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. Make sure y'all sharing the live, man. We're just trying to go over some joints right now, doing what we're doing. Where's everybody from, man? Hit it in the live. Hit it in the chat. Okay, let's see here. I think I got a sequence here. No, not a sequence. All right, let's see what it says. This one is called Share the Process. Let's see what it is. Shout out Ohio. Shout out Michigan. This one is called Share the Process. Shout out Vegas. Let's go. Shout out Raleigh, North Carolina. Robert Banks, I see you. Let's go. What y'all think about 2 Chainz on this? Oh man, Leon Thomas, Jesus Christ. This one's called Share the Process. This one's called Share the Process for those who are not, who are keeping tally of these beats. I don't remember what the name of this is. I gotta name it. Let's name that. Damn, what should I name this? Definitely hit the like button. Let's go. vocalist. We'll call that one the vocalist, man. It's definitely simple. Who's coming in just now? Hold on, we're gonna get to that. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna get to that. Alright, so that beat is called Share the Process. This one is called The Vocalist. Do I use song mode? Yes. I just didn't put any of these songs into song mode. The one previous I did put into song mode. This one I didn't. I don't know the name of this beat, but I think it's a R&B type joint or slow type joint. All right, William, peace out, bro. Call this one guitar joint. It's all right. Ain't nothing crazy about it. Listen, in this game of making music, man, some joints are better than others. So what's my favorite BPM? I don't really have one, if I'm being honest. I don't have one. I think if you don't have a favorite BPM, it prevents you from kind of going back to that same number and then making everything sound the same. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, that's my thought process to that. We're gonna go into slow motion. Let's see what these joints sound like. Shout out to everybody that's sharing the live. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. This was a trap music, trap joint. Trap vibes. I think we call this beat slow motion. Take your resting heart rate and the beat will speak to you. I never tried that. Yeah, Robert Banks, we use Splice all the time. Track Lib and a few other places. This one I think we call slow motion. I like this one. call this one Beautiful Fly. It is beautiful. It's fly. This is summer day fly. Go get a mimosa, fly. Make sure you got a fly chick, fly. Make sure you're someplace sunny, breezy, got the linen on. Let's go. Let's go. Alright? This is first class flying, man. Come on. Gotta have the top down. Gotta drive fast. Make sure that you gotta, that your woman is good looking on this one. You can't have an ugly woman on this one. You got, you gotta look good for the slow motion when you do the, the selfie videos. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. That angelic super fly type. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wake up into someplace foreign, you know what I'm saying? And you got something nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, for those who know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Definitely Larry June. Y'all liking the live, man. Let's go. Listen, I don't have any outboard gear. Listen, I stopped. Listen, to a lot of that stuff I stopped using. Like, I stopped using a lot of that stuff. And the longer that I've been into it, the longer that I start to realize that it wasn't necessary. And remember, I come from the era where you had to have two, you had 2 tracks, reels, ADATs, DA88s, if we had to go, we had to have the big SSL boards every time we went to the studio. Got to get to the Neve board. We got to have this type of speakers, this type of compression. We got to have this, the BBE this. We got to have the compressor that. It's like, the longer you've been in it, it's like, if a guy really knows how to use Pro Tools, he's good. If the guy got the right plugins, he's good. You don't really need a lot of that stuff. I think a lot of that stuff is just kind of barriers to entry. And I think it just kind of takes people away from really focusing on really just making the music, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to outside process it, if that makes sense. This one is called Beautiful Fly. Put that on the list so far. Which one is winning tonight? Slow motion. More Larry June type stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely, I'm gonna have to see him too. There's another one I need to see. We're gonna go into the moment. We're gonna go into this one. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Listen, I saw the new 2 Chainz and the Osley Brothers, man, and I was blown away. I really, really, really like that vibe for him. Like, I like that a lot. Like, a lot. You know what I mean? So, shout out to him. Shout out to 2 Chainz, man. Listen, YouTube do this funny thing, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, YouTube, you like it and then it'll take it away, and I don't know what that's about. Or it'll show me with X amount of views and then it'll take it away. I don't know what that is. People are gonna say it's bots, but I ain't bought anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even really in all of that. All right, so let's see what this beat is called. The Moment, I believe. Oh, this was an Afrobeat showing me the last night. Afrobeats got all hormones. Yeah, I like that, you know what I'm saying? Got a little island vibe, you know what I'm saying? If you get the island vibe, Pan-African. Which one is this again? Yeah, I call this one The Moment. No, not yet. And this one was more of a groove. We couldn't quite get it to break out the way we wanted to break it out. So it was kind of just a groove that just kind of played. Like, it was kind of felt like more of a score or a video game, or it didn't really feel like, okay, I can build this into a quote unquote record. I'd have to play with it some more just to kind of see what we can do with that. This one was a pop record. I haven't called it anything as yet, but I'm just gonna call it the pop record. So let's go. Y'all see how that's going on right now. Just different joints. We're going to go into this one right here. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Shout out to everybody that's liking the live, sharing the live. Shout out to everybody that's doing that. Appreciate you asking. Yeah, let's replace everything in the memory. People are saying they like the Cook Up. That's their favorite joint. I think the Captivation is my favorite joint. But, you know, we gotta figure it out before the live is up. Y'all ready? This one's called The Total Dream. Start sharing the live. Let's go. This one's a feel-good record. Let's go. Let's go. Called The Total Dream. Make me want to rap. Go. Let me bring in the hook. Chris Brown, where you at? Man. Yeah, I like that a lot. What else I got? Hold on, let's see. I think we did that already. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But right now we got The Total Dream. And then this one, I don't know what the name is. I don't know. The Total Dream. And what's this one? Let me say this. But y'all definitely like that Total Dream, it sounds like. Hold on. Yeah, I like that too. That's crazy right now. Like that Total Dream. Let's go on. Let's go on to the next set of ones. I got a few more minutes. That's radio already, right? It's ready to go. Got the right speed, right? Some people were saying it was too fast. You know, I guess what happens is we forget how a good roller skating record feel. You know what I mean? This one's called Ride Out. Let's go. Two different beats. That guitar is crazy. That is just a crazy. It's a crazy sample, man. I cannot listen. You as a producer, you beg for those type of samples. You heard, like you beg for them, like something like that. It's just crazy. So this one is. I don't know why I hear MOP on this one. When that organ comes in and goes, that's good, man. That's you can't pay for that. And like this tempo right here, this 79, 80 tempo, this is like the kind of the tempo for like when we did Max B. Why You Do That? And part of me feel like I would like him to do more of that. But the other part of me is like, yo, I don't want him to come out and try to, redo what he already did, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But, I can't wait for Max to get home. Make sure I'm hitting the like button. That's just insane. I ain't gonna hold you. That's called Ride Out. That's called Ride Out. We got a bunch of joints, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta see which ones, we're gonna make the final cut, and then we're gonna try to, start making some of these beats available for some people who really want to use them. You know what I mean? People who are really serious about getting it in. Let's go on to the next joints. What is this? It's called Magical City. Landscapes that share the process. Like, as I share the process, the beat, or share the process of how we made this beat. Because there was a beat named Share the Process. Who was asking about song mode? Yeah, Share the Process is cold, man. That's one of my favorite ones. What's the next beat here? This one cooking, man. This one cooking. I ain't gonna hold you. This one called Magical City. This one called Hit a Lick. Hit a Lick. What do you mean Hit a Lick? What is this one? You have an autosave version of this. Oh my God, let's merge it. Riding music, right? We need to ride music, right? That's a vibe. So for everybody that's been in the live from the beginning, what's the beat that was the standout one to you? So, yeah, please let me know which one is that to y'all. This one's called Hit a Lick. Do I use the MPC in controller mode? No, I do not. I do not. That joint go crazy right there. That sample. I call that joint Hit a Lick. Yeah, play that again. Call that pure. Man, he said pure is the winner tonight. So all right, we've been on for an hour. He said pure is the winner. Somebody else want to hear Share the Process, said that's the winner. What's the other one? What's the winner tonight? What's the winner tonight? What's the winner tonight? So I could prepare to get it up on the site. What's the winner tonight? It's hard to pick one. I already know Born Ready like the Afro beats. That's that sweetness right there, right? That shit, the process is tough. That's just crazy. She said play this one before. Hold on, it was this one. It's called the Guitar Joint. The boy already wanted to hear that one. Oh, she said Donnell Jones. Whoa, that's, man, she's bringing it back with that one. So let's hear the Total Dream again. The Total Dream again before we get out of here. So it's between the Total Dream and Share the Process. And then some people said they like the Cook Up. Pause. That's Champion right there. Okay. Okay. Listen, man. Listen. It's all about preference here, right? Because depending on what you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to, it depends on what you're trying to do, man. If you're trying to, yo, Zach, what up? It depending on what you're trying to do. You know, what we try, we going through all of the beats, Zach, and we trying to pick, you know, what we're going to be putting out for, you know, for the licensing for this week. I'm going to put some beats up, you know. Trying to get some artists, trying to work with some artists, trying to see what's up, trying to see who's trying to do what. I just want artists to be clear, like, you know, we have our own distribution situation with the Orchard and Sony. So, you know, we got our own situation going. So, like, you know, so we legit over this side, you know what I'm saying? So just for people who think that it's a game over here, it's not really a game with us. We got everything that we need to have, you know what I mean? So we got access to what we need to have access to. So the question is, who are we going to share our access with, you know what I mean? So this is why it's different. This is why you got to choose your producers. Why? You know, some producers can't help you. After the beat, after you get the beat, that's it, you're done. Ain't nothing else they can do for you. All right, let's hear this Cook Up. This Cook Up is I think this is on the site now. So let's go with this. Let's listen to how this went in song mode. I'm putting it in song mode for somebody who wanted to ask me about that.
Arkatech Beatz.
Yo, can somebody answer MT in the chat? He's asking who we produce for. So, you know, can somebody answer that guy in the chat so he knows who we produce for? Because, you know, just so that they clear. But what was the one that was like I call it Beautiful Fly. Hold on a second. I need to go back to that one. That one was in... Which one was that in? I think that was in the Night Piano joint. So it got a Primo feel. Yeah, man. You know Primo's one of the GOATs. kind of feel like Nas is like, right? You know what I mean? If you could get Nas back on that, you know what I mean? Like, you know how that go. This was the captivation. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Let's go.
Arkatech Beatz.
Yeah, I know what it is already. So what's the winner going to, man? What's the consensus before I jump out of this live? Hey, yo, do y'all got any questions, man? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in the live. I'm here to answer questions, man. Like, you know, I know those folks don't have a lot of questions. Like, I'm here to answer questions about this game, man. A lot of folks are not asking the questions that really need to be answered. Like, you know, there's a lot that happens. So I want people to really, like, yo, start asking questions and start feeling like, you know. Like, remember, this is a resource too, man. It's not just about me coming on here playing the beats and, you know, doing what I do. It's about being a resource to you guys and answering questions for you guys. E Santana, is there anybody who is somebody I produce for? Yeah, for the most part. Like, you know what I'm saying? None of them samples come with the MPC, man. They don't come with the MPC. You gotta dig for your samples, man. That's the one thing that you know. Don't get me wrong. There's some good kits in here that I just haven't used them. You know what I'm saying? I like a particular sound. You know what I'm saying? So I dig for my stuff, and I go through different guys' kits, and I go to different things, and I pull out something here, pause, and take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that. Yeah, Zach, what's up? What's up with the licensing, man? Just hit me in. What's up? Just ask the question. I'll answer it for you. Yeah, but this is what I suggest. The same way, like you see me coming on live every day. I get on the live. There's some time that I have to do before I come on live. I call it prep time, and I go through samples. I go through sounds. I build my kits. I take sounds out. I take sounds in. Pause. You know, just to kind of get an idea of what I'm keeping. You're gonna keep kind of tweaking until you kind of get to your kit, and then listen, you might outgrow that kit, and then you might have to do another one. And me and Mike, I've been talking to Mike about, you know, we have some kits out that we're selling, but right now we're gonna start creating some more ones. All right, so what's happening with the licensing is that if you guys go to arkatechbeatz.com right now, you know, you'll see some of the records that have some licensing available. And how it works is like this: is that we basically, you know, like how you might go to a BeatStars and the guy might be selling this record over and over and over and over again. We don't do that. We may have a record that we license, for maybe like anywhere between 2 to 5 artists tops. It's a premium license. What it'll do is it'll cover you for the first 2 million streams, right? So by the time an artist gets to 2 million streams, you're making money. And that's part of the reason why we do it the way we're doing it. So by the time you get to 2 million streams, you would have made anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000, right? And that's just from the master royalty side. That's not even from the publishing side. From the publishing side, you could probably add on another, $1,000 to that if you need to. So once the artist gets in the position to start making money, that's when now you may have to come back and say, okay, yo, architects, I need to get a bigger license now, or I need to do an exclusive, or I may need to do a bigger deal. But what happens is like this: we're creating a license platform that will basically provide you with the license. It's going to provide you with a guide on publishing. It's going to give you a guide on how to release your record. It's going to give you a guide, give you a split sheet, and then it's going to give you like a wave and an MP3. And then the bigger thing is that you have access to us. So, having access to us is really what really becomes the game changer, because now, you have somebody that's in the corner that can be like, hey, I don't like this part of the record, fix that, change that, let's do this before you do that, and then also, we may help with the promotion as far as stories and stuff like that. So the license is going to start at $9.99. And I hope I answered your question. It said the captivation. I like that. I really do. Yeah, I did. Why you do that, bro? Why you do that? I thought I told you, baby. That was Bigger Valley than Charlie, baby. It's a classic record, man. We did Prodigy and Nas, called Self Conscious. We did a few. We got a few joints out there, man. We got a few. Got a few, a few nice joints out there. Jadakiss, Realest in the Game, off the top 5 Dead or Alive. That was featuring Sheik and Young Buck. Who else we got out there? We got a few joints out there, man. Like if y'all never listen to Jadakiss, Realest in the Game, I suggest y'all go listen to Jadakiss, Realest in the Game. That's produced by us. That's us in our rare form. Like that's like the marriage between. Like if we could redefine trap music, that's how we would do it. We would make trap music sound like that. It would just sound completely cinematic. It would sound totally raw. It would sound like the speaker was trying to explode. Nah, I don't got nothing with Ghost, man. He follow us, man. He rock with us, man. But we just don't got nothing with the Ghost, man. Sometimes it be like that. We got like 50 records with Raekwon and don't got nothing with Ghost. It just be like that. You know what I'm saying? I got a record with RZA. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got nothing with Ghost. I ain't got no records with Kendrick, man. It would be nice, but I ain't got no Kendrick. I ain't got no Kendrick. I ain't got no Drake. I need Kendrick. I need Drake. But, these guys are at the top of the game. You know how hard it is to infiltrate those camps right now. I'm from the Bronx, New York. Bronx, New York. Big Pun forever. Big Pun, Capital Punishment forever. Last month was the 28th anniversary of that. 27th anniversary, rather. Yeah, I know you was talking about Styles. Styles P the Ghost. We don't got nothing on him, but we need that. Yo, who got any more questions, though? Who got any more questions about this music business? What's up with this music business? Nothing on Jay-Z, bro. Nothing on Jay-Z. Let's look. I got Big Pun. Think about it. I got Big Pun. I got Nas. Right? I got Raekwon. Think about it, right? Illmatic. Capital Punishment, Purple Tape, right? Think about those three, right? I got Prodigy, Prodigy, he did the infamous, for God's sake, right? That's like if you think about it, that's like four of hip hop's like icons, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now with Jay, the funny thing about Jay was during that period where you had the Blueprint time, my partner Mike would be going down to Baseline because he had a good relationship with Just Blaze. Just Blaze used to be a manager at a studio called The Cutting Room back in the day when he did that first Harlem World record. And I remember meeting with Just, and Just was trying to get the Pun, and we was trying to get the J. So we were trying to maximize our network. You know what I'm saying? Because Just had a Harlem World record that he had did for them. Now I didn't do no record on Illmatic. I'm just saying those artists are the albums that made those artists as great as they are, right? So you had Mobb Deep, the Infamous, you had Raekwon, the Purple Tape, you had Nas, Illmatic, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, Big Pun's Capital Punishment, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what made those guys great. Not that we were on those albums. But we did do Capital Punishment. We were on that album. The records that we did with Nas, we had maybe like a total of 6 records with Nas. We got a record that's called, like I said, Self-Conscious, which is with Prodigy. Then we got another record called Kids in the PJs, that's with Bravehearts. Then we got another record that we did with Nas called My Worst Enemy Is Me, right? So you can check that out on YouTube. It's unreleased, but it's released maybe like in a Japanese Lost Tapes version. Then we got another one called Blackness that's out there. It's out there in the sphere. And then there are 2 more records that we did with Nas that are unreleased. I don't even, did we have a sound clip? We might have had a sound clip. I can't remember. Yes, I do. We do limit the license. We do limit the number because we don't want too many of the same record out there floating around. That's if I'm being honest. We want to kind of limit it to, because what will happen, like say in real life, let me tell you what happens in real life. Say for example, I take a record to Nas, or let's for real life example, I took a record to Raekwon that I wanted him to do with Ghostface. He had the record for a while. He sat on it, right? So guys sit on the records. Guys might do stuff. They may write it. They may not write on it. Then I took that record, that tape. Then we said, we weren't sure what he was going to do with that record. Then we wind up playing that record for Big Pun, right? That record turns into Leatherface, right, on the Year Baby album that goes platinum, right? So what happens is like this. It's like you can give the same guy the same record, but I can give this guy a record. I can give that guy a record. This guy might do it this way. This guy might do it that way. The guy that has no promotion, and there's a guy that has promotion. This guy might know. This guy might know this guy that knows this guy that knows that guy. He might know a radio person over here with a radio person over there. So what happens is, you're trying to give a record a chance to turn into something. But what I don't want to do too much is I don't want a situation where you got too many people competing for the same track. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So we're only doing a limited number of licensing. Like that's really where we're at with it right now. Now, I don't think it's bad for people to purchase from BeatStars. I think you got to do what you got to do. I think what happens is that there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's levels to it, and I think that if you're just getting in and you're trying to perfect your sound, then I think that that marketplace might be good. You know what I'm saying? For people who are trying to perfect their sound and trying to find their producer. But what I noticed about BeatStars is I've had a situation where I've had several artists take music from BeatStars, and I'm reaching out to the producer, and I'm like, yo, we did a lease on it. We did a lease on the beat. We put the music out. The music is testing very well. Now we want to upgrade the license, and you can't get any response. And I think that's really where the problem is. The problem is that you know, there are producers who are on those platforms that aren't engaging with their customers and aren't available for when you're trying to do things a certain type of way. And then you have those situations where you have, like with the DDG situation, where a producer that he may have gotten the beat from wants to charge this exorbitant amount of money. Like he wants $300,000 for the track. Like, you're not Timberland, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like these are the kind of things that destroy producers' careers, man. You know what I mean? And I understand, like, a producer wanting to get paid for his music, but there's sensibility to that. You have to realize, who you're working with or who wants your music, and you have to figure out how you can leverage that as a producer for your brand. So homie took a really big L on that by trying to take down the song and really trying to strong arm everybody. Like, he'd have been better off just waiting for the song to go astronomical. Like, he'd have been better doing that, because at least they would have earned the money. You know what I'm saying? At least if they earn the money, then they can come back and say, hey, I can give you what I earned. But if you're not earning any money on the record, it just came out, man. It was just gaining traction. You was trying to cut them off at the knees too soon. If you're trying to purchase any music right now, you're gonna go to arkatechbeatz.com. That's right there on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And anything that you heard tonight, if you remember the name, send me a DM. And then what happens is we can have it available for license maybe within the next 24 hours. Sometimes the beats got to get mixed, and, we got to do certain things to them to make sure that they're right the way they need to be. But the ones that are available right now are the ones that are available. If you guys want something else, then just DM me. And then what I hope to have Mike D come on this week, and then, because he got a bunch of records too that I would like y'all to hear. He doesn't really like the live too much, but he got a bunch of music that is killer. You know what I mean? Like, it's killer. Like, it's insane. You got to hear that. I think Zach was here today when Mike was on. Is there any other questions, man, when it comes to the licensing, when it comes to leasing, when it comes to marketing your records? Like, listen, you guys got the best platform to market your records, which is, TikTok and these other places. These are the best places to really market your records, man. You just got to be smart about your content. And what I give guys credit for is some guys, they like to do, like, very, very micro content where they take maybe 15 seconds of their song and they'll make a video of them in the car, and then make the same 15 seconds of them in the park, then the same 15 seconds again with them in the bathroom. You know what I mean? And they're just trying to, they're testing that over and over and over again to see if the algorithm will catch it. TuneCore or DistroKid? Neither. I hate them both. I used to be a DistroKid guy, and then until DistroKid started to once I realized that DistroKid was in bed with Spotify, it's hard for streaming right now, bro. It's hard. Like, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because, say for example, like it got to the point where we stopped promoting our music on Spotify altogether, because every time we would have like a situation where we would have a bunch of guys like on, like y'all, and we would ask our followers to stream a record that we got coming out, so forth and so on. Like, we would get hit up with all of these things they call like fraudulent streaming. Like, that's not fraudulent streaming if I'm telling my people to go stream it. That's not fraudulent. If my people want to play a beat on repeat, which people are writing to raps, so they're gonna play a beat on repeat. So because if you're with Spotify, if you're with Spotify, with DistroKid, then yeah, they play this game. I might have to say United Masters, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? I might have to say United Masters. But I don't really, like I said, I got a distribution deal with the Orchard, and that's a boutique. The Orchard, like, that's like having something with Empire. the Orchard and Sony, so I don't really have to go through that anymore. But I do have some releases that we did put out through DistroKid. Honestly, I think CD Baby might be the best one. And I know people are gonna say, why would you say that? Because when I think about it, the rates that I get paid for streaming on CD Baby tend to be higher than the rates that I was getting paid for DistroKid, and that's just me seeing what I'm seeing. And then the TuneCore thing, TuneCore was just like, people say TuneCore is better, but I felt like TuneCore had a lot of red tape for your release. Like, there was like so many obstacles. Like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and I just think that it was more than it needed to be. Yeah, when it comes to vinyl, you can release your vinyl, but there's a different way to do that. You know what I'm saying? The Orchard don't really do the physical copies like that. Sometimes we have to go to what we call a print on demand vinyl facility. So, for as we start to get deeper and deeper into this music thing, and as I start to show people, like, I'm gonna start setting up the group where folks can come in, and then I'll start showing folks like share my screen, start showing folks like the e-commerce side, start showing folks like, okay, this is the templates that we're using this is what we're using, like there's a lot more to it. You know what I'm saying? The Orchard is by invitation only, so that's not something that's gonna be open to the public where everybody could just go to the Orchard. It's like the Rock Nation type of situation. Like you gotta be like popping for that, for the Orchard and for like Rock Nation and like what's the other one? Empire. So yeah, so Anthony, when you drop your album, I would probably say, like I said, United Masters might be a little bit might be the one that works best, especially for the retention of that. And also the takedown situations, man. Like, that's the issue. Eamon says best MIDI. Clarify your question. I'm not sure what you mean when you say best MIDI, or what you're asking. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold, man. I feel like my kids were sick this weekend, and I think I'm getting what they got. Like, nobody want to be sick during the middle of, when it's hot. Nobody want to be sick like that. But my throat feel funny. Anybody else got any other questions before we jump up out of here? Appreciate you, brother. About to get up out of here, folks, man. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go.